Hello friends and welcome to another exhilarating video of Wisdom Zone, and this is Shubro, and I'm quite sure you have already guessed it because today I have the sixth part of 10 most important phrasal verb for your daily English conversation, and I'm quite sure you're eagerly waiting for this sixth part of phrasal verbs where I'm going to discuss 10 important and chosen phrasal verbs which you can use in your day-to-day conversation as well as while writing you can incorporate them. So let me again request you, if you haven't subscribed to Wisdom Zone, please do not forget and subscribe to Wisdom Zone and hit the bell icon and continue watching this video till the end so that you can get the right use of the 10 new phrasal verb which I am going to discuss today. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome back friends once again to this interesting video on phrasal verbs. So before I go ahead and start my discussion on 10 chosen and important phrasal verb, let me quickly remind all the viewers that I have already provided the links of previous parts on phrasal verb in the description, and it is imperative for the new viewers especially. Please go through the previous parts where you will learn so many phrasal verbs, okay? And all the links of the previous parts are given in the description. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Before I proceed, let me quickly just give a brief description of a phrasal verb. As you see on your screen, a phrasal verb, right? So as you all know, and let me again explain it to the new viewers, that a phrasal verb is a multi-word verb, okay, where we use multiple words together. So it can be a combination of a verb plus an adverb, or it can be a combination of verb plus preposition, or both. Okay, so we use this combination and we form a multi-word verb so that we can use them effectively for our communication, as well as when we are writing also we can use them so that we can convey our message very clearly. Okay, so without further ado, let me show you two examples as you see on your screen. So let's see two examples. As you see, the first one is take off. So here I'm using this phrasal verb. It means to undress, okay, or remove your clothes. So, and the next is just the opposite, put on. Put on is to dress yourself in or to wear. So, without knowing that, you would not be able to use them. So like this way you can use this phrasal verb. You can say that please put on that blue shirt. Instead of saying please wear that blue shirt, you can use this phrasal verb, please put on that blue shirt. And also you can use take off, okay, please take off the dirty shirt. So like this way you can use the phrasal verb in our daily conversation, which is going to give you a new dimension to your communication, right? So without further ado, let's get started with today's 10 most important phrasal verb, and this is the sixth part, as you know. So as you see friends on the screen, the first phrasal verb for today is act on. Okay, so again, as you see on your screen, the first phrasal verb for today's discussion is act on. Act on is a very useful phrasal verb. It means to do something because we have been advised to do. Okay, so it's quite important to use it, and if you use that it's going to help. So it means to do something because you have been advised to do. Okay, so let's see how to use this. As you see on your screen, the example is given: I acted on my advocate's suggestion. So act on is to do something, is to act, okay, because you have been given that advice to do something. Okay, so we can say I acted on his advice, okay, or I acted on his suggestion. That means to do something because of some advice you have got, right? So like this way you can use this phrasal verb in your conversation. So up next we are going to see the second phrasal verb for today, which is on your screen. That is ask someone in. Okay, it is quite useful in our regular conversation. So ask someone in, this phrasal verb means to invite someone to come into a building or a room. Okay, so when you are asking someone or inviting someone to come inside a building or a room, so that is called to ask someone in. So it is quite useful when you're communicating with someone. Okay, so let me show you how to use it. As you see the example on your screen, I was standing outside her room when she asked me in. That means she asked me to come inside that room, okay, or come inside that building. So if she asked me in means that to ask someone to enter or go inside a particular building or room. Okay, that's the way you can use it. Okay, it's quite useful in your regular conversation. So up next we are going to see the third phrasal verb for today, that is bear with. Bear with means ask someone to be patient, right? So when you're saying bear with me please, that means you're asking someone to be patient. Okay, so let's see how to use it. As you see on your screen, the example is given. Okay, bear with me for a minute while I take the call, said the busy doctor. So the doctor asked me to be patient and wait and bear with him because he's going to take a call, right? So instead of saying could you wait, you can say the please bear with me. Okay, so that's the way you can put it, and it sounds quite professional also. Understood? So up next we are going to turn our attention towards the fourth phrasal verb for today, that is on your screen, that is black out. Blackout is quite useful. It means to become unconscious or to faint. Is to black out. Okay, it's a very useful phrasal verb. So let's see how to use it in a particular sentence. Kevin blacked out right after the head injury. That means he became unconscious. Okay, blacked out. Again, I'm changing the form. As you know, we can change the form of a phrasal verb, present to past. As you see, I have used the past form. Kevin blacked out right after the head injury. I hope it's clear. So that's the way you can use blackout. So you want to say that someone has become unconscious or someone has fainted, so you can use blackout. It's quite useful. So up next we are going to turn our attention towards the fifth phrasal verb for today, that is on your screen, that is patch up. It has a very interesting meaning. As you see on your screen, the meaning is given. Patch up means to try to improve a relationship after some disagreement or some after some resentment, right? So when you try to improve a relationship after some issue, some disagreement or resentment, that is to patch up. So let's see how to use it. As you see the example on your screen, I tried to patch up with my ex-girlfriend, but she did not respond. Okay, it means I tried to improve the relationship with my ex-girlfriend, but she didn't respond in this case. So I tried to improve that relationship. So that is to patch up. I hope it's crystal clear how to use this wonderful phrasal verb in your everyday conversation. So up next, we are going to turn our attention towards the sixth phrasal verb for today. That is wipe something out. As you see on your screen, wipe something out means to destroy something completely. That is to destroy something completely, okay, or to demolish something completely is called to wipe something out. So let's see how to use this. As you see on your screen, the example is given. The small village was wiped out in the heavy rain. That means the rain completely destroyed the village. Okay, so that is to wipe something out. So like this way you can put it. Wipe something out means to destroy or demolish something, right? Up next, we are going to see the seventh idiom for today, which is also quite handy for our everyday English conversation, which is go on. Go on, let me be a bit more precise and let me tell you, please pay attention, because go on can be used in two different ways. The first use, as you see on your screen, the first meaning is to continue something. Okay, so as you see, the example is given. My boss said, please go on with your present assignment. So that means my boss asked me to continue with my present assignment. Okay, so here go on means to continue. The second meaning of go on is to start speaking after a break. When I pause and after that when I start, I say that let's go on with this topic. So that means to start speaking after a break. So let's see how to use it. So the second meaning, as you have understood, it means start speaking after taking a short break. So as you see the example on your screen, Harry stopped and took a glass of water and then went on with his story. So that means he again started narrating. Okay, so I'm changing the tense from go to went because I'm talking about past. So you can use that in present also, right? Let's go on. We can also say after taking a break. Again, when you restart your conversation, you can use this term. Let's go on and discuss this topic. That means you want to continue your discussion, start speaking after a break. So that's the second meaning of go on. I hope it's crystal clear. I hope you'll be able to use both of them. So up next we are going to see the eighth phrasal verb. Again, this one is also quite fascinating and it has two meanings and you can use that in two ways. So let me tell you the first meaning. The first meaning is to stop doing or getting involved with something. Okay, that means stop doing something or getting involved with something. So let's see the example. Our star player suddenly bailed out from the next match. Our star player suddenly bailed out from the next match. That means he decided not to play. He decided not to get involved. That is to bail out. Bail out of something means not to get involved anymore with something. Okay, it's quite useful. That's the way you can use this. Okay, that's the first meaning, and the second meaning is on your screen. The second meaning is help someone who is in difficulty by paying money. Okay, suppose someone is in debt and you pay money and help that person to come out of that financial difficulty. That is also to bail out. So let's see the example. Kevin has borrowed a lot of money. Now he wants his friends to bail him out. That means he wants his friend to pay money and help him. That is to bail out. The second meaning is to help someone who is in some sort of financial difficulty and help that person by paying money. Okay, so I hope it's clear how to use this phrasal verb in two different ways. So up next we are going to see the ninth phrasal verb. So let's turn our attention towards the ninth one. That is quite new for all of you, I guess. That is divvy something up. So divvy something up, this is a very interesting phrasal verb. It means to share something, okay, with others or other people, right? So let's see how to use this. As you see on your screen, the example is given. The board of directors finally decided to divvy up the revenue among all the stakeholders. That means they decided to share the revenue among all the stakeholders. So divvy something up means to share something with a lot of people or some people, okay? So up next, we are going to quickly turn our attention towards the 10th phrasal verb and the last phrasal verb for today, which is extremely useful as you see on your screen. That is egg someone on. Okay, egg someone on. I hope you see on your screen. So it is quite fascinating. Let me explain the meaning. Egg someone on means to encourage someone to do something silly or dangerous. Okay, when you encourage someone to do something which is quite stupid or dangerous, so that is called to egg someone on. So he egged me on to do this. So like this way one can use it. That means motivate someone to do something which is very stupid and dangerous. So let's see how to use it in a sentence. As you see on your screen, the example is given. Ben started the fight in the classroom and his friends egged him on. That means his friend encouraged him to do it and continue the fight, and it was a very stupid thing to do, in fact. Understood? So that's the way you use this. That means encourage someone to do something which is very dangerous and stupid or silly, okay? Which is not at all good. So it's quite important one. I hope you have understood. So I hope you have understood all these 10 phrasal verbs which I have discussed. They are extremely useful for your everyday English conversation, and also these phrasal verbs can come handy in any kind of competitive examination, or when you're writing some emails or letters you can incorporate these phrasal verbs also, right? So let me again remind you that this series is going to continue also, so please follow this series. And again, it's my earnest request, if you haven't subscribed to Wisdom Zone, please do not forget and subscribe and hit the bell icon and continue watching and following all the videos from Wisdom Zone.